What's up, everybody? Jesse Ziegler from Cycle News. I'm out here in Moapa, Nevada for round 2 of the National Hare and Hound Series of 2025, and I get to race Zane Roberts Likumali Beta Factory Racing 480 right here. I'm going to race this today in the 40 intermediate class and try to tell you what it's like to race the top level championship winning #1 National Hare and Hound bikes. Cool thing about being able to ride a factory bike, other than obviously being able to ride a factory bike, is to find out what the top pros are doing to their bikes to make them the most competitive in their specific discipline. This is a very specific discipline of desert racing, obviously. National Hare and Hound, one of the oldest series on the planet. And man, high speed, big bumps, sand, rocks, any kind of terrain you can imagine, and again, high speed. So we're gonna do about 70 miles tomorrow in 2 loops. And I don't know what to expect, but hopefully I can hold it together for the boys under the beta tent and not embarrass myself or them. I've already been out here for a day talking to the beta team, trying to figure out all the cool factory things they do to this bike. And honestly, almost everything on this bike you can buy off the shelf. Beta has a great line of parts in their catalog at their dealerships you can do, including their factory suspension services, where you can get the same components, same settings, same service that people like Zane Roberts have on their bike. More than that, this is actually a full factory racing effort, so there are some things on here that you certainly can't buy. Primarily, the ECU and wiring harness setup on these bikes. Developed with the Supercross race team, they use the same basic electronic package on this bike to deliver just more tunability into the EFI mapping, more personalization for each of their off-road riders, and honestly, it's probably just a much more streamlined, efficient, and lighter system. Some familiar brands on here like FMF, Jackrabbits, Seat Concepts are really on board supporting that beta effort. New this year, X-Trig triple clamps, the Precision Racing Products parabolic damper is pretty trick. They also have the progressive sort of suspension system in the handlebars. Everything on here is fine-tuned for Zane to go fast in the desert. New this year, another notable thing is Bridgestone tires. Bridgestone tires coming back into supporting a factory off-road racing effort is big news. They've been big in the history of supercross and motocross and off-road, but they kind of disappeared for a while. So now to see them back on the beta is good news. They got nitro mousse and all that kind of stuff in the tires to make them durable. Kite wheels are super trick and cool. And they have a lot of my hard enduro favorite protective pieces from Bulletproof Designs, as well as G2 ergonomic throttle, tube assembly, so durable, and fast. More control aspects, you got mica metal handlebars, like the oversized handlebar, but with a crossbar pad. Also mica metal sprocket. Then you have your TM Design Works chain slide guide, all those components. Again, proven off-road brands. These guys aren't taking anything for granted out here. They need stuff that'll last through this brutal terrain. And you know, as I'm sure you're gonna see out there in some onboard footage, there's a lot of rock, a lot of carnage out here. So front and rear rotor guard, they have the big Jackrabbits plastic one, flexible one in the front, just to deflect you off those rocks. But out back, they have the big dog Bulletproof Design shark fin style that actually incorporates the brake carrier. These are bulletproof. I've really tried to ruin these on hard enduro races and they just keep coming back for more punishment. Awesome component. You know, they're running stock brakes, stock Nissan brakes on these bikes, and this Nissan lineup's been really good. IMS also the off-road choice for fueling capacity, and not only that, but speed when they come into the pits. They gotta have that quick dump system with the IMS tank, and man, a lot of gas, and we're gonna burn a lot of it today. Beta's a pretty unique brand, you know, they're building boutique race bikes for like sort of like specialized customers. And that 480 really fills in that spot nicely because most people out here are on 450s. You know, most manufacturers don't make a 480, and clearly it's the defending National Hare and Hound champion, so it's working out here. Ergonomically, Zane's somewhat of a unique character because he's freakishly tall and he's got freakishly long arms and legs that go along with being tall. So as you can tell, he's got a high Seat Concept seat. Seat Concepts builds, in my opinion, unbiased opinion, the best seat in the world, and having the option to build the race seat in different heights with their proprietary foam and their own seat bases really makes this a great addition to the team. I'm actually going to ride his tall seat just to see what it's like, even though I'm only 5'10". A lot of factory guys, their suspension settings are like factory gnarly because they're hitting stuff so fast out here. They have a really stiff setting. Zane doesn't necessarily do that. His suspension really moves on the small bumps, the rocks and the sort of square edge stuff. It's really definitely moving. It's not harsh. He's not saving all of his suspension travel for the high speed hits, it seems. It seems like they're building a sort of a more progressive approach to suspension. And again, that's all done in-house at Beta's factory suspension services. You can buy a Beta, send them your suspension, just like you would a suspension shop that you're more familiar with, and they'll use all their race team proven and internal proven technology to get this Beta suspension ready to go for you. I can tell you just from a little bit of photo time and test models that the 480 Big Bore is a really pleasant thing to ride in the desert. It doesn't have a peaky power, it doesn't have a snappy power, it's got tons of torque, and it just doesn't sign off so far. So that's just my photo impression. So I can't wait to do the bomb run and get out there in the open desert. Snack time.
The wave, dude. Ride the wave. What's up? Huh? What's up? Hi, Max. Oh, I'm glad that didn't stall. Woo! What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Good. Left? Oh, okay. Thank you.
Since you've raced a Hare and Hound, you picked a fun one. You know, we've never even been here, and so first time experience for everybody. Tell us about your race otherwise. Did you actually race, or were you like just going out there and having a good time? Because you won the class.
I did win the class. I didn't really know which class to enter, to be honest, and I wanted to race something that I could relax and try to have fun in. And fun is a word I would use to describe the race. Also, there's other words that I would use. It was pretty brutal for me. I got a terrible start, couldn't see my handlebars for a long time in the dust, and ended up just kind of like dog paddling and working around people that are just falling over in the dust for 10 miles or so, and then got into open section, and I could feel what the bike is potentially capable of doing, and I got like almost like on the edge of what its potential was, and that was fun. And then the cross grain stuff with the G outs, I was just like, I am not ready for this. This is clearly above my pay grade.
We need a little bit more seat time.
We need some more seat time for sure, but epic experience. I love coming and doing these race series, this race series in particular, because it's just like old school and gnarly, and that's hard to find these days in a lot of whitewashed sort of sports, sissy sports. All right, everybody, that's a wrap from round 2 of the National Hare and Hound Series 2025 on Zane Roberts Factory Liquid Moly Factory Beta Racing. I was really impressed with the bike. We had a little bit of a hint on my photo shoot how the power character was and the suspension character was, and honestly, it's probably one of the most versatile race bikes I've ever ridden. Zane won today by a couple minutes, his back-to-back victory in the Hare and Hound Series. And I raced at about an hour and a half slower pace than him on the course, and I was honestly completely comfortable all day. Fatigue made me a little less comfortable a few times, but the bike's suspension, the bike's power, the bike's brakes, the clutch, the transmission, it was honestly 100% comfortable, easy to ride all day, but really powerful if I wanted to try to surge past somebody too. So I can't say enough good things about that bike. It was super cool to ride and easy to ride, and it still had his like lanky gargantuan ergonomics on it, his crazy tall seat. I just left it exactly how he races it, and it worked out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with the race course. Speaking of the race course, I don't think I saw my hands for about 20 minutes at the start of the race. It was so silty, dusty. And then they took us right into some really technical uphills and rocks right away, which I actually loved. And I actually got to pass some people there right away. And everybody I passed, I was like, all right, that's one less person's dust in front of me, one less person's dust. But it didn't stop all day. It was dusty, silty, and the worst part, the hardest part to do was the cross grain G outs out here. We went through them. The longest range we could do, we did 3 times back and forth, and every time I got to it, I'm like, no! So, Hare and Hound's a brutal sport. It's a brutal race series. It's the toughest people are doing this race series because they're going the fastest. You have to have no fear. You have to have incredible bike control because it's unpredictable everywhere. And you have to have the stamina to keep it up for 2 hours on a 70-mile course. And some of the courses are longer and take a lot longer. So kudos to a great weekend out here. I'm excited to tell you more about the bike test in the magazine. So make sure you go to cyclenews.com/magazine, subscribe for free. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, check out our social media, and we're gonna have a bunch more stuff on off-road racing coming to you like we always do.